Hey guys, welcome to my new video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about this new lens that I just bought off eBay for $47 and why I think this is the best lens that you can buy when you're starting out making video. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so what we have here is the Olympus OM System F.Zuiko Auto S 1.8 50mm lens. That's a mouthful. This is a prime lens that is from a film camera, so it is a vintage lens, and I believe it's from around the 70s or so. So let's get out and get some test footage with this lens and see what it looks like, shall we?
Let's go have some fun.
So as you can see, this lens gives you a great image, and for the price, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I paid $47 for this lens. Now let me get into a little bit about why I personally think this is the lens that you should buy after you buy your camera, which comes with a kit lens if you're interested in making video. Reason number one, it's cheap and its build quality is ridiculous. It's got a full metal construction, it feels incredibly solid, and it just won't break. And number two, it's got full manual controls. Because it's vintage, it doesn't have any electronic connections on the lens like newer lenses do. So you can't control the aperture or anything like that electronically. You have to control it all manually. And this is a prime lens, which means it has no zoom functions. So if you want to zoom in, you got to get closer or further away. That's all there is to it. And number three, which I'll get into right now, is you can declick the aperture ring on it and it gives you a very smooth control over your aperture versus when you have an electronic lens, you control the aperture with the dial on the camera. So in your video, it'll have this very loud clicking noise where this doesn't. So let me show you guys what I mean by that and how to do it with this lens. So as you can see here, as I change the aperture, it makes a really loud clicking noise, which we don't want in our videos. So I'm going to show you guys how to pull it apart and declick the aperture ring. Let's take a look. Alright, so first of all, we have to just take off the little retention ring, I guess you would say, that holds all the other rings like the aperture ring down, which is pretty easy. I just removed it with some tweezers. After that, there are two other little rings that you take out. This silver one has the little holes where the ball bearing fits in, which makes the clicking noise. Now that we have those out, you can see we have the ring that contains the little ball bearing. That little guy right there. I just used a magnetic screwdriver and pulled that out. And then I put it together the exact same way that I took it all apart, which is pretty easy since there weren't too many pieces. It's also a nice thing that with this lens, there are no screws that you have to unscrew. You just untighten the retention ring and you're good to go. So there, just tighten it back up a little bit. And as you can see, we now have a smooth declicked aperture ring. Here's the exact same shot as before, but with the declicked aperture ring. Now you can see why this is such a huge thing for video, because you can smoothly change your aperture. You can even get apertures in between the stops that you would usually have to just settle with. So that's an awesome little modification. And there you have it. With a couple simple modifications, we turned an old vintage film camera lens into what is basically a Cine lens, which are really expensive. And that's why I think that this lens is great for your first purchase as a new filmmaker, because it offers you so many things that an expensive Cine lens would offer, and it's really cheap. And I mean, if you do break it, it's like $25 to $40. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed that and learned something. If you did, let me know down below, and also let me know what you would like to see in the future. Leave a like if you liked the video, dislike it if you didn't, and subscribe to see more content. I'll see you guys next week.